Before we begin to consider the technical definitions of place and later efforts of articulation, let's take a minute to think about what it is that we have done so far. And as we do that, let's keep in mind the context of the time. The students of Panini's grammar from the outset, well, for one thing, they already knew the language and they certainly knew the alphabet. In fact, they knew a traditional way of describing or organizing the alphabet in vargas, such as kakagaganga, cha-cha-cha-cha-nya, and so on. These are so well known that Panini uses them at times when it's helpful to him without saying anything else than ku, chu, tu, pu, and so on. Ku automatically means kavarga, kakagaganga. So we know that's not news to the students or anyone learning the grammar. Also, Vyakarana is one of the 6 Vedangas, limbs of the Veda, and at least according to grammarians, the most important. It was also the one that was supposed to be studied after all the others, including the Vedanga related to correct pronunciation. So all the people who were studying Ashtadhyayi would already be familiar with the language, but also with at least the mechanics of articulation, correct articulation. So the first sutras that we considered, the Akshara Samarnaya, A-I-Un, Ruluk, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamangananam, Jabhangi, Gartadash, Jabagartadash, Kapacharta, Jatatav, Kapayi, Sheshasar, Hal. What purpose did they serve? Well, it was not to teach the alphabet. As we've already noticed, the most obvious function was to permit the creation of pratyaharas, encoded ways of referring to different groups of letters in shorthand, such as ach being shorthand for all the vowels, hal shorthand for all the consonants. The next sutras, Vrittiradayich, Adengunaha. Well, there's Sanya Sutras, which directs our attention to the terms Vritti and Gunaha. But at another level, they are describing a relationship among sounds. A, I, ow are somehow related in a meaningful way that makes putting them all together with a single term, vriddhi, useful. Similarly with a, o, and guna. Halonantaraha samyogaha describes relationships of consonants which are not separated by vowels. Ikoguna vritti, we've talked about a little bit, but it emphasizes the fact that ik, I, U, R, L, those vowels have there's some particular value in grouping those vowels, I, U, R, L, together and having a code term to refer to them automatically. Anunasaka, Mukanasaka, Vachanonasaka. Again, that's a way of characterizing a group of sounds that are produced by both the nose and mouth. So the obvious part of it is a term, sanya, anunasaka, but the other way of looking at it is that it's saying there is something meaningful about thinking about the sounds which are produced by the nose and mouth as a group. Just as vriddhi is a group of vowels, guna is a group of vowels, ik is a smaller group of vowels, or a different group of vowels. And then, of course, we get to tulyasi prayatnam, savarnam, and that's when, again, technically, the point of the sutra is sanya sutra. It's giving a name and defining it. But again, at the same time, it's saying something which strikes me as quite profound, that it's important to be able to group sounds along a particular dimension that's now being called savarna. That sounds that have the same place and effort of articulation have characteristics which are useful to codify or to group together. So, in a sense, the sutras that we have considered so far are all about highlighting and identifying sounds whose characteristics make it valuable to the grammarian to be able to group together and then refer to in coded ways.